A chew toy is a training toy. It's training the dog to chew. Right question, I don't recommend toys. I don't recommend chews. I don't recommend things that my dog may confuse with something that I don't want them chewing on. I think chewing is a habitual thing. I think you create chewers. I don't allow chew toys with my dogs, and I'm not going to say I never do, but I rarely have an issue with a dog chewing up anything. I think it's a combination of two things. I don't form chewing habits. Again, I think it's habitual. You create chewers. We create dogs that have to have things in their mouth and relieve it by chewing on them. If they don't ever see that stuff, they never have the drive or inherent desire to do it. I truly believe that. So it's two things. I don't create the habit early. I don't allow it to be acceptable. And the second thing is I don't set my dog up to fail. I don't put them in a situation where they have stuff to chew. So if you let them run around the house, they'll find stuff to chew on. If you place train them, if you crate train them, if you have them in control with you at all times, they don't have the opportunity to get a hold of stuff to chew. If you're going to free range the dog through the house, and that is no one's fault for things getting chewed except the person who allowed it to happen, and you're it. So I'm against the idea of the chew toys. I think he calls it non-antler training toys, and I call them chew toys. And actually, a chew toy is a training toy. It's training the dog to chew. So if he's talking about other training toys, like more like a bumper, canvas bumper, tennis balls, those are training tools. I don't allow them to have them at all times. They stay in my training bag, and I give them to him when we're working on specific drills or skill sets. The idea of letting her chew on the soft antler, that's definitely not what I recommend. And I think people got to understand, and I overlook it because I just assume people realize and know it. The reason that training dummy is soft is not to allow dogs to chew on. I don't want them chewing on anything. The idea behind it being soft is so when they run up to it, they don't poke themselves, jab themselves, have some type of a negative introduction to the shape of an antler. I want it to be positive. And so when they get excited about a retrieve, which is what they're probably going to be, I want them to run up to it and not have some type of a negative connection. I don't want them hurting themselves. I want them to understand that shape, I'm conditioning them to understand that the shape of the antler is a really good thing. It's very positive. It gets me a retrieve. It's a lot of fun. Eventually I'll add scent to it. It doesn't have to have scent now. But we're just forming an early habit that is very foundational in a shed dog with the idea of conditioning the shape of the antler to equal retrieve. Retrieve is the reward. So I wouldn't recommend the idea where he ends it with let her chew on the soft antler. No different than any other chew toy. I certainly don't want them. I don't want them chewing on anything. And one reason I don't want them chewing on a soft antler is because you chew on a soft antler. What are we training? Like, that's training. When I go shed hunting, I don't look for dogs to go find sheds and chew on them in the woods. I look for them to pick them up and bring them back to me.